You've done everything they said. You visualized. You affirmed. You wrote it down like a spell. You whispered it before bed. You kept your thoughts in line, your energy high, your doubts at bay. You did the work. You did it well. And still, nothing. It's been months, maybe years. You're tired of pretending you don't care. You're tired of pretending you still believe. You say you trust the timing, but deep down, it feels like something's broken. Like the magic is working for everyone else but you. You're not crazy. You're not cursed. You're just caught in the most seductive trap of all, wanting. Desire disguised as faith. Effort disguised as alignment. Because no one told you the secret. You don't get what you want. You get who you are. And who you are is still waiting. Wanting is lack wearing perfume. It smells like hope, but it's still hunger. You think if you visualize harder, feel more gratitude, stay in the vortex longer, it will come. But the moment you try to become, you've confirmed you aren't. You say, I am abundant, but check your phone for proof. You say, I am love, but still ache for a reply. That gap, that's the delay. Because belief isn't enough. You can believe in a dream all day long, but if you don't assume it's already true, you're still outside the gate. Belief is admiring the door. Assumption is walking through it. You don't hope you'll become it. You be it now before the proof. It's not about waiting for reality to match. It's about being the match that reality has no choice but to mirror. Your world isn't responding to your thoughts. It's reflecting your state. And your state still wants. Here's what you're missing. The delay isn't punishment, it's precision. The gap between your desire and its arrival is the measure of your becoming. Not in doing more, not in fixing flaws, but in dropping the illusion that you are separate from it. You've read the Bible verse, let the weak say, I am strong. It doesn't say to become strong, it says to say it, to assume it, before you see it. And that's not metaphor, it's metaphysics. Every time you imagine your future and then wait to feel different, you've separated yourself from it again. Every time you check the mirror, you've stepped out of the role. You're the actor, forgetting the lines. You want to manifest from effort, but manifestation is embodiment. And embodiment begins with assumption. Not I want, not I will. Just I am. Let the desire fall away. Let the wanting exhale. You're not here to become, you're here to remember. This is why it hasn't worked. Not because you didn't want it enough, not because you did it wrong, but because you never became it. You kept asking, you kept checking, you kept waiting. And waiting is still wanting. The door was never locked, you just kept knocking from the outside. You are not separate from what you seek, you are its source wearing shoes. So here's the quiet miracle. You don't need more practice, you don't need more rituals. You just need to stop waiting for proof. Because the moment you let go of trying to manifest is the moment you become it. Not because you got what you wanted, but because you stop being someone who needs. And when that moment happens, the shift is immediate. You don't get the thing, you are the thing. And the world has no choice but to agree. This isn't faith, this is identity. This isn't waiting, this is now. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Let that echo, let that rewire, let that become the only thing you carry into tomorrow. Because nothing is missing except your remembrance, and nothing stopping you but the belief that you are still becoming. It was never about the words, not really. You could repeat 1,000 affirmations and still feel like a stranger to the life you want. Because the words only work if they're spoken from within the state. You don't manifest with effort, you manifest with being. And being doesn't shout, it doesn't push, it doesn't wait. It breathes, it assumes. It walks the earth as if the prayer was already answered. But most days, you're still hoping, still wondering if it will come true. which means on some level you still don't believe it has. You still think creation is out there, when the only real creation is a shift in who you are. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. You visualized before bed, again, but the science after still felt like absence. Because without the state, all the rituals are empty, and deep down, you knew it. You tried to feel it while still believing it wasn't here, and that belief whispered louder than any image you held. This is the secret most miss. The feeling of the wish fulfilled isn't a trick of the imagination, it's a return to your natural state, the peace of no more seeking, the stillness of already having. It's not excitement, it's not intensity, it's something deeper, like coming home and realizing you never actually left. You feel it in the body, in the breath, not as a performance, but as a remembering. This isn't positive thinking, it's spiritual identity theft, taking back the I am you gave to your limitations. There's no technique that can substitute for this, because it's not about what you do, it's about where you do it from. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Let your day become a rehearsal for already having it. Speak from it, walk from it, return to it in the pauses. Because when the state becomes familiar, reality follows like a shadow, and the simplest way in, start here. Decide what you want, ask, how would I feel if I already had it? And then, feel it. Not perform it, not pretend, but embody the essence of that feeling, right now. If it's abundance you want, feel the calm ease of security, the quiet joy of possibility, the soft readiness of a full heart, and hold that, because this is the secret. You never wanted the thing, you wanted the feeling you thought it would give you, and that feeling, that's available right now. The outer is just a mirror, but the spark, it always starts inside. Words are spells, yes, but spells aren't the power. They're the trigger, the incantation that unlocks the door. But it's the state that walks through it. So why hasn't it worked yet? Because wanting still feels like lack, and waiting still feels like doubt. You kept knocking on the door, but never stepped into the house. Because some part of you still believed it wasn't yours to enter. But there is no gatekeeper, no divine delay, only you, and the story you tell about what's possible. The moment you stop asking and start assuming, everything changes. You don't need a sign, you don't need a miracle. You just need to stop being the person who's waiting for one. This isn't a method, this is a remembering. You already know what it feels like to have. You already know what it feels like to be. You've just been arguing with that knowing, replacing it with effort, with questions, with need. But the truth doesn't need to be proven, it only needs to be lived. The law of assumption is not about force, it's about alignment. Not about convincing the universe, but about realizing you are never separate from it. And once you do, the world bends quietly to match. The tighter you grip, the heavier it becomes. Let go, and there's nothing to carry. You are the only one you've been waiting for. You are the place it all begins. And the moment you stop trying to manifest and start being what you already are, is the moment it all starts to appear. Not like magic, but like memory. Because it was never missing, just unclaimed. You are not separate from what you seek. You are not outside of the source. You are the ocean in a single drop. Imagine for a moment, a drop of water suddenly gains consciousnness. It looks around and says, look at me, so small, so separate, so fragile. And in doing so, it forgets it is the sea. It always was the sea. It always will be. You are that drop. And the moment you remember, the waves return you home. This is not hope. This is not faith. This is the end of delay, the dissolving of doubt. This is a state where nothing is missing and everything simply arrives. And yes, there will be days you forget. Days you check the mirror before the feeling. days you slip back into the waiting. But like the breath in meditation, the power is in the returning, coming back again and again to the truth that never left. You are the one who creates, because you are the one who is. Not separate, not a seeker, but the source in motion. The answer disguised as a question, the presence behind the desire. You've always been here, hiding in plain sight. And now, you see.